Hi guys, and welcome to another video. So tonight you're getting kind of a different angle of my bedroom because that's my closet, that's the hallway that leads out the rest of my apartment, but I'm sitting here folding clothes, getting laundry done, as you can see, and I thought, why not do my wrap up from the last couple months while I fold clothes, because I can talk about books and fold clothes. So that's what we're gonna do. Yeah, I'm excited. So further ado, let's get to it. Okay, so let's talk about my monthly wrap up. I have a vivid memory of writing this all out, but I don't know where I wrote it out at, so you're gonna get me rambling. I have a little like rundown notes basically next to me that we will talk about, but I don't have really any concrete numbers. I don't have concrete numbers from by my head. All the books I read in each month, I did make like little graphics for it, but I thought I wrote down all my notes and I don't know where they went. So like I said, we're just gonna run through what I do have. So book month number 1, last time I talked to y'all about what I was reading, what I had read, all that good stuff, was January. So you're missing February, March, and April. And currently sitting here right now on May the 13th, I have finished 72 books. So you get ready, because there's a lengthy May. There's a lengthy May wrap up coming in. So yeah, I have already finished 50 books this year. I do want to preface this with saying I read a lot of audiobooks. I work a job where I can have headphones in all day long and listen to an audiobook. I do have to answer phone calls, but my phone calls are no more than 10 minutes a piece, and then I immediately can put my headphones back in. So I want to make sure that is clear, that like this is not normal, it is not expected. Do not hold yourself to this standard. It's just what I am privileged enough to do right now, and if for some reason I had to find a new job, I'd probably be back to reading maybe 50 to 60 books a year, because I couldn't read at work. So yeah, it's my main hobby, which actually it's slowing down a little bit. Reading is something that I just love to do, and I love doing it while I'm doing other things. It's one of my happy spots. Currently, my hyperfixation and my happiest point is listening to an audiobook while I play video games. I have a Nintendo Switch, which I am actually absolutely loving. If there's any games you think I should get, let me know in the comments. Currently, I have Mario Wonderful, the newest Mario that came out. Again, I'll put a picture next to my head. I have it, and I'm almost done with it because I decided to listen to a whole series one weekend and just play video games while I listen to the books. So it gave me the ability to get a lot more done than normally I would have. So just take that all into consideration. So let's talk about what I was able to finish and what I wasn't. So in February, I finished 21 books. February is the shortest month, but it's also the lightest month for me at work. A lot of people are getting their income tax, so they're out doing things. They're not really checking their mail much. I don't get many phone calls. It's just what it is. So February is the month I usually can read the most out of the last couple of years. And in February, like I said, I finished 21 books. And each month I'm going to give you my top 3 series / books, because there are a couple months where I just binge series. So in February, my top 3 was the Mean Mishap series. So that is That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon, That Time I Got Drunk and Yeeted a love potion at a werewolf, That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Human, and then I also read Mistlefoe. I honestly in my hearts of hearts, loved the series so much. I loved it so much that I bought them immediately. Like, I finished the whole series on audio, and then I got my income tax in March, like late March, early April, and immediately bought the entire series. I had to have them in my hands right then. So if you've never read this series, it follows 3 different couples. Let me tell you that first. Because my mother started a romance series recently, and she fell in love with one book. And her Mother's Day gift, I asked her, do you want me to get you the next books in your series, or do you want me to get you a coffee gift card? Because she drinks Dutch Rose coffee. Like, that's her favorite coffee. And she said, no, I'll take the gift card. I said, okay, Mama, whatever, right? Got her the gift card. Well, she got to looking and realized that the romance series she had been reading did not follow the same couple throughout the series, so she didn't want to finish it. So all of my reviews for series, I will make sure that I tell y'all that whether or not it, like, follows the same couple, because that seems to matter to other people, even though it doesn't to me. So your first couple is Cinnamon, and I cannot remember her love interest's name for the life of me. I think that's because most of the book she calls him the demon. But she is coming home drunk from a village party or a village festival one day, and here's somebody calling for help. She goes to help and realizes it's a demon needing help, and she helps him anyways, and he immediately chases after her, like tries to kill her. She starts running drunkenly away from him, trying to get home, and in her scramble is the word I'm looking for, her scramble to get away from him, she runs into her family's cinnamon tree farm. And when she does, she grabs a branch of the cinnamon tree as he's trying, like, attacking her, and whacks him across the face with it. He immediately, like, stumbles back, shakes his head, and so she runs off. Okay? She makes it home and, like, gets in bed and forgets about it all ever happening, because, again, she was drunk when this started. Next morning, she wakes up. There he is at the kitchen window. There is a demon at her kitchen window. And she's like, what the fuck is going on? Like, her family's freaking out and everything. And he's like, hi, thank you for whatever you just did, because it knocked me out of my stupor. And he tells her that demons are not inherently bad. They're not inherently evil. They're not looking to attack humans. They are under a spell. And, excuse me, I spit one down the wrong pipe. And so when she hit him with the cinnamon stick across the face, it broke whatever the spell was. And it looks like cinnamon is the cure to this. And so he asked her to go with him to break down the temples of the goddess they have been worshiping, because she is what's making the demons bad, basically. And so you start off on this hilarious adventure for her, and she's like, I don't want to fucking do this, but I'm going to because I'm a good person, but I don't like you. I don't want to do this. Oh, they're so good. They're so good. The second one follows Cinnamon's best friend, and it follows the events after the first one, and they get into hijinks. You do get to see Cinnamon and her love interest, and like what happens with them later on. And then the third one, I will not tell you who that one's about, because that is a big spoiler. But they are so good. If you've not read them, I highly recommend them, because, like I said, I binged them and absolutely loved them. That's what I'm gonna do for March. I just thought about what I want to do for March, but hold on. The second series I finished that entire month and binged was the Beautiful series by Renée Ahdieh. That one it's on my favorites. I really enjoyed it. I really loved the setting of New Orleans. I enjoyed the first one more than I did the rest. And I think that if I hadn't been in a binging kind of mood, I would have finished the rest of them, to be honest. I found the last 3 of that series to be just kind of off the mark for me compared to the other ones. It is set in like almost Regency, New Orleans. It does have vampires, and maybe other creatures. And it was okay. Like, it's on my favorites list because honestly, I finished the whole series, so I enjoyed it. It's just not like, it's not like the Mean Mishap series where I want to gush and just tell you everything. It was okay, and I'm happy I read it. I will not be buying the rest of the books. I have The Beautiful on my shelves, and I will keep it. I'm not planning on getting rid of it or anything, but I won't be buying the last 3. I just don't think I need them. I think that by the 3rd one, we lost the plot a little bit. We followed a different couple, which felt completely alien to the rest of the series, and then we jumped back in the 4th one to their original couple. Like, it just did not have the they had like the cohesiveness. There's the word that's not the word I'm looking for, but it works. The cohesiveness of a series. I think that if it had been standalones, it might have been better than actually putting it out as a series, in my opinion. And then for February, the last book I want to talk about is Scythe and Sparrow. So this is the last one in the, I'm not sure what he's calling this series, to be honest, but it is, the first one is Butcher and Blackbird. I loved it so much. I think it was really smart for it to do what the second one did, which Leather and Lark did, where you're seeing the same kind of time period that the first one followed, just different couples. Like, you're seeing a holistic view of that time and how they all ended up. I hope that we get a 4th one. I know there's not another brother to write it about, but like a 4th one of where they're at now, all 3 of them, because we got the same time period from all 3. But I loved Scythe and Sparrow. I think they were a good match. I found her hilarious, and him to be like the cuddly teddy bear of the group. Yeah, I absolutely loved it, and I will be rereading, and I will own all 3 of them because I love them that much. It was a 5-star read. I have nothing more to say. I read the whole thing in one day on Valentine's Day. It was the best way to read it. So now we're moving to March, and for March I had 2 books, but I had a series and a book, and I did not have a 3rd one. So we're actually going to borrow one from February that I kind of read into March. It was like that Gray Point. I think I finished it like midnight of February 28th, so it will work for March. And that is, I accidentally summoned a demon boyfriend. That one was hilarious, and I cannot wait to get my hands on the second one. My library just doesn't have the audiobook yet. This one follows a plus-size Black woman who gets drunk one night and decides, you know what, I'm gonna try the summoning spell in this romance book. I don't think it's gonna work, but I am over 30. I have no prospects. Dating fucking sucks. People are fucking crazy, and could a demon really be worse than what I'm already dealing with? And she has a demon boyfriend who gets attached to her, and demons start trying to hunt her down and kill her. And so he takes her to hell at one point, and like there's all these shenanigans. Her and her best friend get tracked and like attacked by demons, and her best friend shoots a demon in the face for her. So like that's the level of best friendness I need in my life. I have one like that, by the way. I do. She's amazing. But it was hilarious and funny, and honestly the perfect book to pick up after I finished the Mead Mishap series. It literally gave me all the vibes that series gave, but more modern times. And honestly, summoning a demon boyfriend is something that I could see actually happening on accident. Just saying. Then March, the next one I finished that I do not feel like people are talking about enough, because the first book, the first like 50 pages is really hard to get through, but when you do, they are gold. And that is the Hell's Library series. The first one is the Library of the Unwritten. We're following Claire. Claire is Hell's librarian. She is a human soul who has passed, and now her penance for her life is to work in Hell's unwritten wing of the library. You come to find out there are more wings than just the unwritten. And Claire is set to hunt down a awakened book. So in Hell's library, there are all obviously unwritten books. So these are books that the author either gave up on, forgot about, started, like half of it got characters made and just never went back to it, lost inspiration, lost motivation. These books live in Hell. And Claire finds out that Hero has broken out and she has to go hunt him down. And I will say, I found the characters endearing. I love them so much. When I finished the first one, I was like, okay, I need to know more. I want to know more hijinks they get into. I want to know more of what they're doing. And then I realized it was a series, and I was like, I need the next two. And I binged the next two. Seeing all the different libraries and like what world they were in, that not only was there a hell and a heaven, there also was other afterlives, which afterlives already interest me a lot because we all believe different things. And so to know that for every afterlife that has ever been dreamt of, that people have ever worshipped or thought of exists, was super interesting to me. And I think if you can make it through the part where she's hunting Hero down and Claire is so unlikable and so insufferable because she thinks she is right and sometimes she is wrong and she does not want to admit it, you will absolutely find these books just amazing. You start to ask yourself the question of, is every book that an author puts out, everything they write, a piece of their soul or not? Is when we put ourselves out there by creating something, is that our piece of our soul showing itself or is it not? Like it asks questions, like deep questions, in a very digestible and I don't want to say invisible, like very digestible and not obvious way that makes you really go, is it? Like, you start to question a lot, and I loved it. I will have the other two. This is another series. I need all of them on my shelf because I love them so much. Next, in March, I finished Murder Your Employer. I do not remember who this is by. Again, there will be a graphic next to my head of everything I read in these months. Murder Your Employer was one that I did not think I was going to enjoy it. I have seen it on BookTube for a couple of years and thought, I don't think that's for me. I don't know, bro. Like, I don't think that's for me. And then I picked it up and it was funny. It was funny. It was so nonsensical and unserious. It was what I needed. This follows 3 students who are at an academy for unaliving your chosen person. So they have all tried to commit, they have all done attempted murder and failed. So the person they wanted to murder is still alive, and they were almost caught. And all of them now are at a school for the people, to teach them how to unalive people. So there's hiding bodies 101 and faking handwriting 101. And like, they all have a thesis, and their thesis is to commit murder. And if you are unable to, if you fail your thesis, you will no longer be a person. Okay, catching my drift? If you complete your thesis, you no longer are who you were beforehand. You get to change your identity. And the goal is not to get caught. The goal is to commit the unaliving without anyone knowing it was you. So our story follows 3 different... Oh, there was a piece of fuzz that just flew. Sorry. Our story follows 3 students who are in this school. And the first one you follow, he is writing all these letters himself and telling you about what's going on. You have an omniscient, I hope I'm saying that word right, narrator who's kind of filling in the dots for you. And you're reading his diary entries that are supposed to be given to his benefactor. So some of the students here are paying to be in the school. He has someone who's paying for him, and he's not sure who it is or why they want this done or why they want the same person dead as he does, but they do. So they're on a remote patch of land. You don't know where. They're very good at it. That you have no clue where they're at. You don't know if they're near the ocean. Like, they know nothing about where they are at. They are blindfolded, tied up before they get to the school. They're only untied once they're on school grounds, and there's no way to get off the school. He tries a couple times in the very first and is unsuccessful. But so he goes through the whole process of this, and honestly, I found it to be the most entertaining book I think I've read in a really long time. I kept guessing at what was going on. I kept guessing what was going to happen. And honestly, it was the bomb. I loved it. And honestly, I want another one. I really do. The ending does not leave that for you, though. Like, the ending does not. It could have. It definitely could have. There was a time that I thought that, okay, he's going to write a series. This could leave. But no, it was a standalone. It wrapped up beautifully in a beautiful little bow. And yeah, it was great. But yeah, no, there was no chance of it being a sequel. I loved it so much. So if that's something you're looking for, highly recommend that one. Then, oh, I didn't tell you. For March, I finished 12 books in March. I didn't tell you that before. I'm sorry. I started rambling about books. Then for April, when I wrote this, I had just finished April and May was coming through, but I think I may have finished one more in April than what this says. I'm going to go with what my note says here in front of me, but I may come back to you at the end of May and tell you I'm wrong. We shall see. And in April, I finished 18 books. So, April was another big reading month for me, and I'm not mad at it. I'm actually really, really proud of what I finished in April. And so the first one that I want to talk about, how do I want to do this? One is not a new release, the other one two are, so we're going to talk about the one that's not a new release. The one I want to talk about first is Phantasm by Kelly Smith. I hope I'm saying it right. Or is it Kylie Smith? Correct me in the comments. This one follows Ophelia. You open the book up with her mother has passed away, and she now is the holder of grim magic. You actually, as soon as the book opens, she has found her mother dead, and she is performing a ritual to get her mother's magic. And if she does not do this, I want to say by midnight that night of her mother dying, the magic's gone forever. And she has OCD. I cannot speak to how accurate this description is, or how good she has depicted the disorder, because I don't have it. I don't actually know anyone who's actually had and been diagnosed with OCD, but she does have it. So there's a lot of repetitiveness in this book. It's not a bad thing. Like, I understand with OCD, that is what it is. Like, you have uncontrollable obsessive thoughts and obsessive compulsive things you need to do. Hers is knocking 3 times. She has a child voice in her head that talks to her and makes her do these things. So I don't want to give you too much. I think the synopsis, because I read it once I was like halfway through, gives you way too much. But so she has OCD, and for one reason or another, she has to enter the game called Phantasm. And in Phantasm, there are 10 days. I want to say it's 9 days. I want to say, in 9 rounds or 10 rounds. Correct me if I'm wrong. Obviously it's been a month since I read it, and I physically read it, but I'm right. It's 10 days and 9 rounds. That's what it is. So they have 9 circles they have to go through, and each circle is different. You don't know what you're walking into until you're already there, and a mistake can make you end up unalived. And each one of the contestants have to sign a waiver before they go in, saying that they understand that they could lose their life, and that the creators of the game are not held responsible for this, blah blah blah, all that good stuff. It is run by devils. So she is in New Orleans. They're all kind of mythical creatures. There's different levels to the devils. It's really interesting. But it's ran by devils. And when Ophelia first walks in, she meets a man who she seems drawn to for some reason. She can't figure out why. And he, one night, offers her a bargain that she cannot refuse. And that's all I'm going to tell you. I thought this book was so good. I found the chemistry to be really good. I thought the lore, like the story behind the story, was really well written. And I think that it was the perfect amount of mystery to romance to paranormal, in my opinion. It kept me questioning a lot. And it kept me on my toes. It kept me wondering what was around the next corner. It did its job. She wrote this one really, really well. And I do have the second one on my shelf. I'm looking right up at it. I have Electra, and I am planning on reading it this month. That should be a glowing review in itself. I love this. Next, I finished 2 that are brand new releases. The first one is A Harvest of Hearts. This one I picked up because of the cover. I did not know it was a new release. And, I had no clue until I went to log in on Storygraph and realized it was a brand new release, and that now I have to wait at least a year for the next one. I'm not happy about that. That's why I don't usually read new releases. This one follows a world where to keep the magic users in power, they have to harvest hearts. And the way they usually do it is that they call them something special, but I can't remember what it is, so to save my life. Basically, the magicians, brain is not working, come to the towns and make you fall in love with them just a little bit. And so when you fall in love with them, they catch your eye, they take just a little bit of your heart. And that is supposed to suffice them and supposed to allow them to protect the realm. You learn, no, you don't learn. So it helps them protect the world, basically. We follow a main girl. Our main character is a young girl in an outlying little village who gets ensnared by the first male magician they've ever seen. And she has this pain in her heart every time, like, he catches her eye, he gets in his carriage and leaves, and when he leaves she gets a pain, and so she's like, I have to follow him. I have to go to the capital city and get him to give me my heart back, or give me back what he took, because I can't do this. So she leaves one night and leaves her dad just a note and telling him, hey, I gotta go, basically, and travels to the main city. And there she obviously finds out things aren't what they're supposed to be. Okay. This book was very good. I thought the magic system was really, really interesting. If you are one for talking animals, this one is for you. This could be considered a spoiler, but it does happen in the first, 2 hours of the audiobook, so I want to say it's not. But when she gets to his house, she learns that he has a cat who she really, really enjoys getting to know and everything. And she looks at the cat after being there for a little bit and goes, I really wish you could talk and conversate with me, because I'm bored and I don't want to do this anymore. And then the cat starts to talk, and she's like, how is this happening? I don't have magic. What is going on? He's like, yeah, the house kind of has a mind of its own, and it does what it wants, if you can't tell. And it will nudge you to go where it wants you to go, and it just grants wishes basically when you want it to. You just have to ask. And she's like, the fuck? And so she starts to figure out how this magic thing works and what is going on. It's really good. I gave it 5 stars. I think if you're looking for a good magical read, this one could be for you. Just know going in ahead of time that you are going into an unfinished series, in my opinion. It did live on a little bit of a cliffhanger. Not a super memorable one, because my brain now is trying to conjure up what really happened at the very end of it, because I've already finished like 9 books this month. But it was really good. And I do, even though my brain's having issues right now, my brain's having issues talking, but my brain's having issues remember the ending, I do feel like, hey, I need the next one. Like, I want the next one. So I know the ending was a cliffhanger that I really enjoyed. And then lastly is the one that I was really anticipating. And as soon as I realized it was going to be a series, I put it on hold. The library came through, like, right as it published. And that is The Antique Hunter's Death on the Sea. So it's the second one to the Antiquer's Guide to... What? I'm not sure the name of the first one. No, I was like, it's the Antiquer's Guide to Murder, I believe. Don't question me on that. I want to say it's the Antiquer's Guide to Murder, and I can't look it up because you're on my phone. But the first one, you follow our main character who her old bosses passed away, Arthur, and they're trying to classify it as an accident, and come to find out Arthur has been murdered. She and her aunt figured out pretty quickly. Her aunt is a kind of a quirky character. She is going through a divorce. She has went through a divorce. Her daughter has finally flew the coop. This is set in London, but her daughter goes to school in America. Her ex-husband, now that her daughter is grown and has finished school, decides that she no longer needs their home and wants to sell it. She's trying to avoid dealing with him, and so when Arthur passes away, her aunt asks her to come back to their hometown to like help her figure out what happened to Arthur and just basically support her. She agrees and goes to find out that Arthur has been murdered. He has predicted his own murder and has set up basically like an Agatha Christie Poirot feeling whodunit for them, and wants them to follow the clues and figure out who did this. This obviously is the second one. So at the end of the first, she finds a note from Arthur, which this is not a spoiler at all. I'm not going to give you the ending. Don't worry. That they now need to go on this cruise for reasons unknown to us. Well, unknown to you. They need to go on this cruise because something big is going to happen. And so her and her aunt sign up for the cruise and go because Arthur said they needed to. And lo and behold, a murder happens. And now they are at it again trying to solve a murder. This one was super good too. I love her quirky aunt. It gives amateur sleuth solves a murder vibes. It doesn't have that trope though that I like, that I usually like, but I know a lot of people don't, where like the cops have tried solving this and they can't, but I can, and I have no formal training kind of thing. Like, no, there's a cop that's trying to prevent her from doing it, but fails initially, and so she is, with their help, basically solving this. Oh, sorry. That sock did not want to go there. So the cop is basically solving it with them. It's not like the cops, Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I know that was a lot of people's complaint, was like it felt unrealistic that a teenage girl solved all of this that a seasoned detective couldn't. Like, that's not what this is. Like I said, her aunt is a very quirky character that you question yourself a lot with her. She reminds me of like a hippie. That's really what her aunt reminds me of. And she's very much like stick in the mud kind of thing, kind of a person. It was, like I said, it was good. It was entertaining. It was everything I wanted it to be and more. I had no complaints. I really, really enjoyed it. I'm so happy I've read it. But yeah, there you have it. There is all of my books that I want to talk to you about from April, March, or February, March, and April. I was going to go backwards. In April, I told you I may have finished more than 18. We shall see. How are y'all liking the longer videos? Let me know. Because I'm filming this on the 13th. This is going up on the 14th. So today's video was already 30 minutes long. And this one's going to be at least 30 minutes long once I finish editing it. So it's another long video. How do you feel about that? Are y'all enjoying these? Do you want me to shut up? Because I think I have found my stride a little bit. But yeah. So I am looking forward to hearing your thoughts in the comments. I am gonna go finish folding these clothes. I've got to hang up everything I've just been folding in half and throwing this way because that's all my hang up clothes. I just did not want to get up to get hangers up and down, so I decided just throw them over there and we'll get to them in a minute. That's going to bite me in the butt. But I did get this video filmed, and as you can see, all the clothes folded. So I am making progress here. I go on vacation next week, which I'm really, really excited for. But it does leave me a lot to get done around here before I go, and a lot of food to eat, actually. So I'm going to go eat dinner, and I will catch you on my next one. Bye, guys.